Okay, so it is Sunday, I think July 20th, something like that, and I thought I would do a drive-through tour of Moffett, Oklahoma. It has been over a month since the flood happened. The flood happened at the end of May, beginning of June, lasted a few days. Cleanup started. As you can see, there's still just tons of debris lining the streets, and you can see some water levels. This is Patricia's house. This is one of the houses that we are working on rebuilding, which is currently it's sealed up as best we can get it, and it's being dried so that we can then move forward on the reconstruction of that. Still tons of debris stacked outside of her house. We're actually going to be going, we won't stop right now, but we're going to be going to the first church service back in Moffett since the flood. There are 3 churches in this town, none of which have been rebuilt yet, and just plenty of debris, etc., just laying around, and it looks like we're going to actually be meeting inside. I know they got the plumbing going this week for restrooms, first time they've had church here since the 1st of June, and all 3 churches, like I said, that were destroyed in the flood are meeting together in one building. Keep in mind, when I say things are destroyed in the flood, they're pretty much just a shell on the inside. Just some, you can see where there used to be, if you see an empty lot, it's because there used to be a house there, like right there, that is gone but not yet hauled away. Lots of mobile homes in the area that I don't know what they're ever going to do with them, but they don't look very repairable to me. That's Miss Reba's house. That's another home that we're working on. The debris did get picked up at her house. About half the houses had the debris picked up. That's the trailer that she's going to be moving into this week. But there is debris across the street that we stacked over there, just so we could keep the ability to have our truck and trailer and stuff laying around. So one of the neighbors, I'm not going to drive up and down every street, but I thought I'd give you an idea that if there's anybody living in any of these homes, they are doing so with no air conditioning. Most people don't have electricity. They have no way to get it turned back on because they have to hire an electrician to do so. Then that means that things that have to be redone and brought up to code, they just simply don't have the money to do that. We are doing that in the 3 homes that we are going to be working on. Most of the stuff you see on the outside may look like there's somebody on the inside, but you go inside and all the homes look alike. There are a couple that are being worked on. Like you can see somebody over here doing something on this house here. Not really sure what. I heard he was going to have to tear that down and he's going to put another mobile home up there. And this is Leo and Edna's. This is the 3rd house that we're working on. It is also currently being dried out so that we can begin construction on that. What are you doing?
You were blocking it.
Oh. And so they are actually working on their home to get it back together over there. But to my knowledge, the home was never properly dried, unfortunately. But they're doing stuff on their own. This empty lot right here is where Lee and Virginia's house once stood. We've talked about them a lot, had pictures of their house. This is also their building. They're waiting to figure out how to get that out of there, and then they have taken out a loan to buy a double-wide mobile home to put on this lot. The house that was there at one point was the house that Virginia grew up in. This is the Moffett School. There's a lot of volunteer activity been going on here to get the school back. And also God's Pit Crew is going to come in a couple weeks and work 3 to 4 weeks to help them get the school back in shape, because there are no funds, even though it is a government-owned public school. There doesn't seem to be any state funds to help them out to get their school back. It's a K4 through 8th grade school. We've met a lot of the staff and stuff. Several little apartment buildings like this. None of them are going to be rebuilt. They're all going to come down. And then there are some homes here and there that, you know, you kind of look at and you say, well, I don't know what this looked like before. There was an old for sale sign there. My guess is this house was pretty bad shape before the flood, and I know nobody was living there. Again, we're just going to continue on. We'll show you some more pictures of some homes and things. We've talked to several homeowners, and on most days we see only 1 or 2 people out here doing anything on a home, and I'm just not sure where these people are, where they're living. They've all been told about us, been given our contact information. As it stands, with having an average of about 1 to 2 people a day helping me, even having 3 homes to rebuild that we've committed to is going to be a huge task, and I have no idea how we're going to manage to get all that done. But I'm told there's about 60 homes, or there were about 60 homes here at one time. And like I said, several have already been torn down. We were able to help Robert and his wife Brenda get back in their electricity going so that they can work on their home. He's pretty much doing most of it himself. Said he'd call me if he needed a hand here and there. Some of the homeowners that we talked to were just interested in slapping drywall back up and getting back in their homes. Obviously, we can't be involved in that kind of a rebuild, but we're working on the 3 that we can and praying that we'll be able to do it. This is Kurt and Mary Jo with Calvary Relief signing off. Keep us in your prayers.